Hey everybody out there on YouTube, this is Deegan, and I've had a couple questions asking how I came out to my family, how did that go, and how I came out to my son. Um, so I told my mom one day when she was here at my house, and it went really well. It wasn't a big surprise to my mom just because I had kind of been dropping hints, and um, physically, I had already been transitioning, hair getting shorter, binding. Just, I've always really kind of dressed masculine. Even as a little kid, I hated wearing dresses. My mom couldn't get me into wearing a dress, and if she did, I would totally throw a fit about it. So that wasn't a really big surprise. And we had had conversations in the past how I had just always felt more male than female. So there was a couple tears being shed, and she more so said she was crying because she was sad that I had went so long without going through transitioning, and that I had been struggling with this for so many years. And then I had just really was holding myself back. So sorry, it keeps bouncing. Anyways, so she was good with it. My girlfriend's been on board since day one. She has a few things that she's a little bit concerned about, but it for the most part she's definitely on board. She's been my number one biggest supporter. Now with my son, I've been talking to him about what transgender means and what it is to be transgender, not necessarily myself, for about the last year. And he kind of goes up and down with it. The first time I talked to him about myself and that I would be going through hormones and that I'd be changing, his response, which was kind of funny, was he just said, "Well, just don't grow a beard and I'm fine." I was like, all right, cool. Now we've spoken about it a little bit more since I start my injections next week, and he was really upset about it, and so he was crying, and it was a lot more difficult to talk to him about. So again, he's only 10, so it's kind of hard to grasp, or it's not the easiest thing for him to grasp. And he is definitely a thinker, and he wants to know more, wants to figure things out. So it's a little bit more difficult for him, at least right now it is. But he's coming along, and we'll kind of just see how that goes. My dad is very old school. He just doesn't really get it. He'll eventually come around. There's no disowning or anything, but he's just like, why? So he's not really my biggest concern. He hasn't been 100% in my life for very long, so it's fine. Everybody else, just total support. Friends, rest of my family's been a lot of support. But to anybody out there asking for advice, there's not really, well, for me, there wasn't really the perfect time. I think it was more so when I thought about it a lot, and it was on the tip of my tongue, like when I'd be around my mom and I'd want to say something to her, and then I just couldn't. And then finally I was like, you know what? I need to be honest with my closest family and friends if I'm going to be honest with myself. And if they really do love me and they want what's best for me, and they know that this is where I want to be and this is what I want to do in my life and this is who I am, then they're going to support me. And if they don't support me, then how much do I really need them in my life? And that's something that I need to reevaluate if they weren't very supportive. The biggest things too are, you have to understand that when you're transitioning, everybody around you is transitioning as well. I'll be 35 this year, so I also have to keep in the back of my mind that everybody that's closest to me, especially my family, have known me as female by my birth given name for 35 years. So it's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take a little bit of time for myself. It's going to take a little bit of time for them. So for everybody out there that's, you know, going to transition, remember that as well. And if people slip up, it's okay. You know, again, it's just everything takes time, and just try to stay positive. And, you know, there's going to be good times, there's going to be hard times, there's going to be bad times, but that really comes with everything in life. So I hope that answered your guys' questions, and keep the questions coming. And again, thank you for tuning in, and I'll talk to you guys again later. Thanks. Bye.